1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
When you think of South Florida, you think of palm trees, beaches, and dynastic hockey teams.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. To the many of you out there joining us here today, I thank you. I welcome you. We are going to have some fun. Talk about some local programming through and through. You got a full slate of not just Big Teddy and C-Cat, Russo and Rizzo picking up the baton from 4 to 6. Then I come right back. on the back end of that. Let me get that baton back, fellas. And then from 6 until 7:30, a special on the Florida Panthers. And then, of course, coverage right here on ESPN 1063 starts as the Stanley Cup final starts of Game 1. Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers. It is on the road out in Edmonton, Alberta. Had to look it up. I was like, where's Edmonton at? Alberta.
We did the same thing last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Where we were on site, I believe, in downtown Delray Beach, talking about hockey with the hockey fans. We'll get there, South Florida fans. Like, it'll take a couple years. We'll eventually know the sport of hockey.
Here's the thing. We know hockey, but to know hockey is to not give a damn about the teams that are out of Canada. And why do I say that?
Why?
Well, because when's the last time a team out of Canada has won the Stanley Cup final? Like, when's the last time they've mattered? Like, they need to know the Florida teams. Tampa Bay Lightning had a little mini dynasty a few years ago, which I conveniently forgot recently.
Yeah.
Florida Panthers, you called them what? What is the moniker you give what the Florida Panthers are today?
A Eastern Conference dynasty.
Yeah. Absolutely not. By the way, that's C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. Yeah, I would beg to differ. They would not appreciate that title. Now, tonight, not just tonight, but these next couple of weeks, they have a chance to solidify themselves as a team that is officially on, like, full-blown dynasty watch. We have to break out or break up the ways in which we talk about the stages of the building of a dynasty, right? You win one title and you have hopes for another. Depending on if you're bringing everybody back, I would say you might be officially on dynasty watch. It depends on how dominant you were in that first title.
You want to take a trip back to the origin of this show?
Yeah.
We're on episode 275 right now.
Oh, yeah, man. It's a long time.
Episode number 2, we were on the road at the Kravis Center. Why? I don't know. But
I had an event there. I was hosting an event for the United Way.
Yes, that's why we were there. And it was the day following the men's basketball national championship game where UConn won in flying colors, and we were talking about what is a dynasty.
Wow.
And in the Eastern Conference in the NHL, the Florida Panthers are a dynasty. That's what's happening right now.
C-Cat.
Mm-hmm.
We are at least viewed as respected journalists, right? Like we set the table for sports talk here in Palm Beach County in the Treasure Coast. I know Unsportsmanlike does it at 6 a.m., but you already know. We discussed this yesterday here on Theoretically Speaking. Oftentimes, Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman, oftentimes their topics in the morning are based off what we do here in the late afternoon. We're like about the last show they can stomach before they take their midday nap. This is how morning show stuff works.
Yes.
They take their midday nap right after us. They wake back up in time to watch whatever sporting events are that night. Then they take another sleep, and then they wake up, and they redeliver what we gave you between 2 and 4. That's why when you listen to this program, and then you wake up early, and you listen to Unsportsmanlike the next day, it's like deja vu.
Mm-hmm. It just seeps into the skulls a little bit easier.
And it makes sense. And we appreciate them for furthering the agendas that we push here. One thing I will refuse, not just on these airwaves, but I will refuse to allow Unsportsmanlike to pick up is you calling the Florida Panthers a Stanley or an Eastern Conference dynasty.
3 in a row.
That is
count the rings.
So are the Miami Heat a play-in dynasty?
I think so.
Oh my God.
If you are
can't.
the individual who watches, 3 games a year, and it just so happens, or 6 games a year, and it's exclusively the play-in tournament.
That's one sick individual.
You know that the Heat run that.
Oh my gosh!
It all runs through them.
So I don't want to talk about dynasties yet. We'll have that conversation a little later on. What I do want to talk about is the hopelessness that resides in South Florida, specifically in Miami with its professional sports teams. I can't think of a time, really this is the only time in the history of South Florida sports where the only bastion of hope, the only team that is having roaring success, the only squad that their fans can fully get behind in the offseason and throughout the year and say, hey, we believe we can be holding the big trophy at the end, and it's not foolish, is in hockey. It's on the ice. It's with the Florida Panthers, who last year won their very first Stanley Cup championship. This year, after a up-and-down regular season, making a big swing at the deadline for a cap out of Boston, and now gearing up and feeling more so informed, getting your cap back in Matthew Tkachuk and whatnot. The Panthers are on the precipice of going back-to-back and solidifying themselves as the current-day dominant team and potential dynasty in hockey. Hockey. When I moved here to South Florida 5 years ago, C-Cat, I was like, because here's the thing. I've worked many places throughout my career. So when I started my TV journey a decade ago at this point, it was in South Georgia, Albany, Georgia, 229. It's not a lot that I can tell you about the place right now that might not bore you. Again, great football out there, great people as well. They call it the Good Life City, Albany. One thing I learned when I was a sportscaster, local TV in Albany, I had to figure out NASCAR. That was the one thing I was like, you know what? I could do some Braves talk. I know baseball enough. I can do some Falcons talk. Obviously, UGA dogs. That was big out there. They love the dogs. I witnessed the uprising of the Kirby Smart era, really the end of Mark Richt before he came back to the University of Miami. Covered that. And then the uprising of Kirby Smart. So I was familiar with everything. That was where I was like, I need to learn NASCAR.
Just there's no way to do it other than to research and watch.
Yeah, I had to watch it. I dug deep. I learned a lot, and I was covering each of those races every single week in Xfinity Series, and at the time, I think it was the Sprint Cup Series in NASCAR. But yeah, so that was when I dug my teeth in as a journalist. I did the proper work and learned NASCAR. It helped because my next stop was in North Carolina, Piedmont Triad, Greensboro, Winston-Salem area, sports anchor and news reporter out there. Guess what? Not only is that college basketball nation, that's NASCAR country in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So that parlayed over. The baseball stuff I picked up worked there. The Carolina Hurricanes were a bit of a thing. They actually had a playoff push while I was there. Covered a Stanley Cup playoff game because of the Hurricanes. But it wasn't that big of a deal. It was still super duper like tertiary. Didn't matter as much. People like the Panthers. They like college basketball. They loved them some NASCAR. When I got the call to come down to South Florida about 5 years ago, I knew of the Florida Panthers. What I did not anticipate was that this would be the lone bright spot in South Florida sports, the lone team that can confidently say we are contending on a day-to-day, year-to-year basis. That's what the Florida Panthers have become, and it makes me think, C-Cat, who is going to be next? Who is going to relive and reclaim that throne? It was the Miami Heat when I first got here, and thank God because I'm a Heat fan. And I don't want to discredit what they've done over the past 5 years, but the past couple of years have been capital D duds. And the future for the Miami Heat looks just as dull as what this last year did unless they make a huge swing this offseason. So that's the Heat situation. Inter Miami has Messi, right? And I don't want to get into the depths of Inter Miami because, to be honest with you, as great as they've been, that is the star, right? That is the mainstay in MLS. They are a partner on the station. We run their games. Everybody loves Messi Mania. To be honest with ourselves, I believe a lot of South Florida sports fans that aren't just soccer first fans, they would take a Dolphins championship over Inter Miami MLS Cup victory. They would take a Heat championship over that as well. And dare I say, they would be banging the drum, literally, for the Florida Panthers to get another Stanley Cup final championship before they will be thirsting for an MLS Cup final. As you prioritize things in sports, it just doesn't rank up there with the others.
It's Big Four, and then college football, and then college basketball, and then he gets MLS. That's just how it is, and it takes about 20 years to have something shift and change. It's like tectonic plates in the sports world.
And that's what they're working on at Inter Miami. And we'll be with them lockstep every step of the way, trying to build it up into one of those sports that matters on a grander scale. So let's talk about the sports that actually are in the day-to-day lives of many South Floridians that root for South Florida teams. We just talked about the Heat. They have a chance this offseason to build themselves into the contender that they have been in the East over the past 5 years. But who the hell knows what Pat Riley and them come up with? I would not bank on it, by the way. I would not bank on it. I hope for it as a Heat fan. I would not bank on it. Well, then let's go to the NFL. If you're watching us on ESPN West Palm's YouTube page at ESPN West Palm, you'll see some glowing highlights of the Miami Dolphins right now. You'll see a team that is at OTAs right now that if you are a fan, a pontificator, a sports talker, anything, and I asked you, let's say if I polled like 50 people, tell me how many wins the Dolphins get this season. Out of all the teams in the NFL, I think I would get the most varied results.
Yeah, I think so. Just all around the board. You hear tank talk.
Yeah.
And then you hear surprise team in the AFC talk.
And I'm like, what the hell is it? You hear tank, you hear surprise team in the AFC East. You hear a lot of people talking up Jalen Waddle, your number 2 receiver, to Tyreek Hill. Also, you know what else you hear with the Dolphins right now? Trade rumors on your tight end, Jonnu Smith, who was like the number 1 option down the stretch last year for Mike McDaniel's offense. Trade rumors. Not even, excuse me, getting choked up thinking about it. Not even rumors on Jalen Ramsey. Almost like
bids.
Confirmations. They're like, hey, we're trading him. He's done.
Yeah, they submitted the paperwork for the bids and the auctions, and yeah.
Who wants him?
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Ramsey's like on football Tinder right now, just waiting for somebody to swipe right on the right deal. He's out. And then what about Tyreek Hill, who's supposed to be your best player? Last year voted the number 1 player in football on NFL 100 by his peers. He was supposed to be chasing 2,000 yards last year. I think he got like 750. It was absolutely bad. Tyreek Hill, who demanded out in the locker room at the end of last year, and now all throughout the summer, you've been hearing him say the most erratic things on random podcasts and on Twitter, and it's nothing you would want from the leader of your team and the person that's supposedly supposed to be the best player. And the biggest issue, the biggest mark of volatility with the Dolphins, if you're wanting to be the next South Florida team to be contending again, to be successful again, and I'm saying again with the Dolphins, like later on we'll define what success actually looks like. If they want to position themselves to be giving hope to the city once again, all of that swings on one position, and that's the starting quarterback. And right now, Tua Tagovailoa has had some excellent moments, some peak games, and a really good season or two. But he's also been one of the more unreliable players when it comes to performing in big games and when it comes to availability because of health. I could poll 100 people, and 5 to 10 will say they'll win 2 or 3 games. And they'll say because Tua gets hurt again and sits out the season. And we're talking about Zach Wilson and or Quinn Ewers being QB1 for the Dolphins. There's going to be some people that say, hey, this is going to be the year it works all out. Mike McDaniel's going to get the focus out of Tyreek Hill. They're going to get an evolution out of Jalen Waddle. They are going to trade Jonnu Smith for future draft picks, but then that's going to help rise up some of the other weapons in the offense. They drafted well, the defense. You're getting rid of some older pieces to bring in younger guys with fresher legs. You won't have the injuries down the stretch. Anthony Weaver is a really good defensive coordinator. Like, right, I can get into the weeds of it all, but there are some people that think the Dolphins could be a surprise team, an 11, 12-win team that contends for the AFC East when no one expects it. And then you're going to get everything all in between there. And you know what that tells me, C-Cat?
What?
Nobody has a clue what's happening over there, and there's no way that if you're a Dolphins fan, you have legitimate hope about this team. So you have a hopeless Heat fan base who think that Pat Riley is asleep at the wheel, a hopeless Dolphins fan base who a year and a half from now, nobody would be confident in telling me who's lining up under center for Miami. You have a team in the Miami Marlins who is not even worth discussing in this conversation right now. It feels like as things stand, they are down 3-2 to the Colorado Rockies.
Oh, well, it's the Rockies and it's baseball, so they have chances to beat that really bad team. So if they lose today, it's no big deal, right?
If they lose today, would that be a sweep?
That would be a sweep.
Would they be getting swept by a team that before the series started was on pace to lose the most games in the history of Major League Baseball?
That would be correct.
The Rockies were 9-50 before they took a trip to Miami. 9-50. Now they've won back-to-back games, and it looks like they're about to complete the sweep. We're in the middle of the eighth. The Rockies are up 3-2, and the Marlins, once again, hopeless. And if you're thinking, oh, well, maybe the Rockies are just getting lucky, how about you go Google the payroll? Google the payroll of the teams in Major League Baseball. And I don't know how. I hope you get more butts and seats at Lone Depot Park. I hope you do. It is good for us if baseball is good in South Florida. I don't know how you're getting people to come and pay and sit in those seats when you are also yourself not paying players to play on your team. Aren't they last in payroll right now?
Yeah, they're damn near. And it's also very fleeting hope. If we actually were given hope with the Miami Marlins, you know around turn 2 that if you get a good player, you can't pay him, so he'll be gone eventually anyway.
Yeah.
One of the number one targets as we approach, we're about a month and a half away from the Major League Baseball trade deadline, is the best player on the Marlins, Sandy Alcantara.
That sucks.
So it's like, oh, cool. He's great. You have a reason to watch the Marlins every 5 days, and he'll be gone if a deal is struck.
Here's my real question to you, C-Cat, because as people know here on Theoretically Speaking, you are bigger on baseball than I. You are a Yankees fan. Mm-hmm. You suffered a World Series defeat. You went to a game in person. What game was that?
It was Game 3.
Game 3 of the World Series. C-Cat was there. His girlfriend got him the tickets, and the Yankees got him a loss. So you are more entrenched in the sport of baseball than I am. My question to you is, why should Marlins fans give a damn at all? Because if they're trading away their best player at most deadlines, if they're not paying guys from the jump every offseason, and then from management, there's been shift. Not talking about the actual baseball like coach, man. I'm talking about like from the GM perspective, both in personnel and in philosophy. But the results seem to stay the same, as in like the Marlins are an absolute no-show. Like, I think the only good year they've had in the past 5 or 6 was the COVID year, right?
Yep, exactly. When you give them a 60-game sample size, they can luck themselves into a playoff berth, which you can see on our YouTube stream right now. That's how it works.
Why do Marlins fans care? Do they care? Why should they care? Is there a way that they're like, what is going on at Lone Depot Park right now?
I think if you were to poll Marlins fans that are in Miami, I would say they should care because it's baseball and it's Miami, and Latin American culture flows throughout that city, and nothing says like Latin American culture than Major League Baseball. Just by association, that's the only reason I can give you.
What would success be for the Marlins? Because we're talking about what's the next South Florida team that can actually be successful. For the Panthers, clearly the bar is Stanley Cup champions. That's the new bar that they have set. Not saying they got to do it every year, but that's how they judge if their season was successful. There's a reason why they won the East, it didn't touch the trophy, and didn't care. They want to be champions. What's the bar for success for the Marlins?
Make the playoffs.
Okay. So the Marlins' bar for success is make the playoffs. Right now, they're nowhere close. In fact, they are in the middle of getting swept by the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball, the Colorado Rockies. The Miami Heat's bar for success, I think I can be a good gauge of. Also, we're going to have Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike here in about 10 minutes so we can steal some more ideas and bring them on Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty and Michelle Smallman. He joins me in Heat fandom. He joins me in Heat Nation. I think he would agree with me that success for the Heat is winning championships as well, hanging banners. They have been the best Eastern Conference team over the past 25 years when you gather up all the stats, details, championships, and whatnot. 3 titles since 2000. Don't let Celtics fans fool you. All they do is knock on the door. They've won 1 title with Tatum. They've won 1 title with KG and Paul Pierce and them. What else have they done since 2000? Really, since Larry Bird left. Zilch. The Heat have been the standard of the Eastern Conference for the past 25 years. Success for them is hanging banners at Kaseya Center. Success for the Dolphins, I mean, winning a playoff game.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption. That is something they've not been able to do longer than any other football team. Any other
longer
sports
than
team?
any other professional sports team in America. 24 years without winning a playoff game, and it don't look like that streak is ending this year.
It's crazy. Win a wild card game, lose the divisional round. That's a successful Miami Dolphins season.
That would be a roaring success.
That'd be a fun week. Yeah, we did it.
That is so sad. So the question is, of all the other South Florida teams, which one can rise to a level to actually be successful again? I'm going to throw the Miami Hurricanes football team in there. I think winning an ACC title would justify success.
Yeah.
ACC champions.
Because they've had reason to do it a couple of years now in this window.
Yeah.
And they haven't.
Last year was their year. This year, I don't know. We're going to have to see. Carson Beck don't rile me up as much as Cam Ward did.
You are burying Carson Beck
I'm not burying
before
him.
he even was born.
If we couldn't do it with the number 1 overall pick, if we couldn't do it with Cam Ward, what the hell makes me think the Canes are going to be able to do it with Carson Beck, who couldn't do it? Well, I guess he did do it with the Dogs. Technically, he was there.
The law of averages and the law of probability.
Yeah, whatever.
The one chance you had with Cam Ward didn't work out, but you only had one chance. Now you get to roll the dice again.
But Carson Beck is no Cam Ward.
And these are loaded dice. These are dice that you paid $6 million. Was that the number for Carson Beck? You spent $6 million to load these die in order to land a quarterback in the portal. That is why I think you should not be so pessimistic about the Miami Hurricanes this football season.
I'm going to be hopeful. I'll be optimistic. I always am with the Canes, and generally I get hurt.
It's a damn ACC, too.
Yeah.
So the fact that it hasn't happened yet worries me for you.
Yeah.
But it also leads me to believe that it's more likely to happen in the future.
All right, and I'll say one quick thing before I ask this pivotal question for South Florida sports fans, because now that I have them hanging on every thread, every word I say, I need to give them a bit of comfort. First, I got to address something in the YouTube chat here at ESPN West Palm on YouTube. Jalen is in the chat. He says, Heat fans pretending to be the pinnacle of the Eastern Conference is laughable. What's funny? What's funny? Who's been more dominant in the East over the past 25 years than the Miami Heat? Name a team. And how do you define success? Nobody's won more championships. Nobody is. Look at the run that we've had as the Heat going to the Eastern Conference Finals, even making the NBA Finals as well. Who's had more success? You tell me, get back to me, and then I'll make justify that response. But until then, I'm talking Miami sports right now. The Heat have the East in their back pocket.
I think the reason why a lot of basketball fans look at the Heat differently when you look at a 25-year sample size is because it came 3 different ways, the success.
Yeah.
D-Wade era, Big 3 era, the Jimmy era.
Right.
In terms of dominating the East
Well, that's
or having
great.
success.
That's how you
right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Whereas we look at other teams that had shown dominance and it came in the same. Like it was the Steph with the Warriors.
Yeah.
It was Tim Duncan in the Spurs.
Well, Tim Duncan had a couple iterations of Spurs too, though. He was the mainstay, but he had like the David Robinson win. Then he had the Tony Parker Manu. Then he went to the Kawhi. So he just was the one mainstay, and they had multiple iterations. If you think about the Heat, it was D-Wade. It was D-Wade and then Jimmy. LeBron popped in there for a couple of them in the middle, which helped out, obviously. I'm not discrediting him. I'm just saying D-Wade was the mainstay from 03 through like 2017, and then it just got a little murky.
Quick, no judgment, stupid question to ask. Shaq on the championship team with the Heat?
Yeah, the first one, yeah.
All right, good.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, just the first one, yeah.
Just making sure.
He was there.
Right.
He was the second best player on that team. Now, that was the second year he got there. The first year they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. The second year, yeah, Shaq was there. He was good, but he wasn't as heavily relied on. And it's a fair question because, again, you don't remember those finals for anything that Shaq did. That was a different Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Dwayne Wade finals. In those final 4 games, I think he averaged 38 points per game when they won 4 straight against the Mavericks after going down 2-0. Yeah.
That's right. That's why the Kobe versus Shaq heated up because Shaq won without Kobe in a different environment, and then Kobe went on a path to try to do the same.
Remember the song?
No.
Last week, Kobe couldn't do it without me. Last week, you don't remember that?
That's a Shaq original?
That was Shaq. Shaq was, I forget where it was. We got to dig that video up.
Okay.
Maybe we could come back with it. It's dirty, though. So if you search it up and you clean it up before we bring it back on the rejoin as we get Evan in here, Shaq was like at a concert damn near. And he was rapping about when the Lakers lost, I believe, the 2008 title to the Celtics. So, yeah, he was really excited that Kobe couldn't get the championship without Shaq.
And now back on track.
Okay.
Success for the Miami Heat is
championships. It's a championship or making the NBA Finals. How about that?
Yeah, I think
Making the
definitely
NBA
making it to the finals
Yeah.
is certainly a bar that should be celebrated if you're a Heat fan.
Especially with how strong the West is right now. So the question right now is, out of all the South Florida teams, who's going to be the next one to actually claim success? Success for the Miami Hurricanes, we established, is a ACC championship in football. Success for the Miami Heat, that is an Eastern Conference championship. Success for the Miami Dolphins, hey, just win a damn football game in the playoffs. Just one. That we will crown you if you can win a playoff game.
They're letting 7 teams in your conference into the playoffs every year now.
Just
You
get
can
in
beat
there.
one of them.
Get in there and win. Injury luck, anything. And then success for the Marlins, we making the playoffs. Or how about beating the Rockies once? Can that be successful?
Yeah, salvaging Game 3.
How about not being in the bottom quarter of the league in payroll, Marlins? One of those. So,
Not getting bludgeoned by the worst baseball team of all time.
It's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I think that'd be a small moral victory for Miami.
this is embarrassing. And, of course, the Florida Panthers are thriving in success right now. We don't have to bring them up. Of those teams, I do believe the Miami Heat have the best chance. And the only reason why I do is because I'm a fan. And I'm crossing my fingers and I'm hoping that they do something this damn offseason. I will say, if they don't pull the trigger and make a real move this offseason for a star, it might be a long, long time before the Heat even make the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, the East is kind of wide open right now. Jason Tatum is out all of next year. The Pacers are the team that are representing the East right now, and they got through the lowly Knicks, who just fired their coach. If you're the Heat, you have to realize the iron is hot and you need to strike. I hope they don't strike out.
So you think the Miami
The
Heat
Marlins.
are the best hope for non-hockey Miami teams
Yes.
to have a successful season?
Yes. In the absence of Cam Ward, I have way less faith in the Miami Hurricanes football. In the absence of a payroll, I have zero faith in the Miami Marlins to make the postseason. And when you are strapped to Tua Tagovailoa, who is a volatile quarterback because of his health and performance in big games against defenses that take his best option away, I don't see in the next 2 years in a tough AFC, I don't see in the next 2 or 3 years the Dolphins winning a playoff game, let alone making the playoffs. Like Mike McDaniel and Tua got to figure it out this year. This is a do or die year for the Dolphins, whereas with the Heat, we'll see. It's all about this offseason, and they have a wide open chance right now to do so. They just can't be scared. Don't be nervous to pull that trigger. Get rid of some players you might have fallen in love with. Sometimes you got to let go to grow.
Would a college football playoff appearance be a successful season for the Canes,
Yes.
even if they don't win their conference?
Yes, you're right. That would be a way to circumvent it.
They
right?
could do that, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot more realistic than a Miami Heat Eastern Conference win today. If you were to bet your hard-earned money on one of those outcomes, you would pick the Canes.
I would pick the Canes as well, but I would say the reason why I'm going to pump the brakes on that is I think the Heat, I hope the Heat make a move, and I'm going to speak it into existence. The Heat are going to get a star, and they're going to win the East next year. That is what I am banking on. The East is wide open. The Knicks will have a new coach. What? It's not crazy.
You are becoming what you hate.
I know.
Which is a Laker fan,
Yeah.
a Knicks fan.
Yeah.
You probably have a photo album in your phone of jersey swaps for every single star in the NBA right now.
I'm honest. At least I'm honest.
You think Pelinka would pick up the phone if we'd call about Luka? Like, this is what's happening as your Heat fandom is just taking a turn for the worst.
I mean, he would. He would have to pick up the phone. He just might hang it up once he realizes what we're calling about. He'd be like, hey, what's going on, Pat? Haven't heard from you in a while.
What happened to building from within? Look at these teams that are in the NBA Finals.
Crap about that. I want it fast. Microwave generation, baby. Speaking of the microwave generation, nobody knows that better than Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike. He's joining us on the other side. He will help clarify this for us as well. And also, again, still some of our topics to use on Unsportsmanlike.
Exactly. It's a recon mission.
Yes. Y'all tell us what y'all believe. Who is the next Miami team that's going to have real success like the Florida Panthers? Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline or drop it in our YouTube chat at ESPN West Palm. And as you know, the Baptist Health Hotline is 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Pull up, tell me who you got, and I'll tell you why you're wrong, and it's the Heat. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle, orthopedic surgeons, and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho.
Great comments in the chat. Again, like Theo mentioned, definitely give us your opinions, give us your takes in our YouTube chat from Oscar Perez talking about how poor it's been to be a Marlins fan.
Oh.
He says, the last time I saw the Miami Marlins in a big headline is when the Yankees double agent Derek Jeter shipped Stanton to the Yankees. That's when the Marlins are most newsworthy, is when it's trade deadline time and they get rid of their best players, which is just torture. It is water torture for baseball fans.
That's the life of a baseball fan, I've realized.
Yes, it
And
exactly
why are y'all
is.
cool with it?
I know Pirates fans out there.
So weird.
And it's like, well, Skeens is great. Wonder when he's traded. He should probably force his way out.
That's so weird.
It is masochistic.
I hate that for baseball fans. It's kind of why I'm not one. On the other side, Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, dropping some gems. Theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE. In office, West Palm Beach.
Dinner's ready. All right, is everyone here? Where's Michael? Food's getting cold.
Every day, 9 people on our Florida roadways won't make it home. Don't let it be you or someone you love.
Michael, is that you? Officer?
Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share.
Michael never made it home. Buckle up. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
The NBA Finals tip-off soon on Hard Rock Bet. And right now, this bonus bet is a layup. If both teams hit a three-pointer in Game 1, you win a $10 bonus bet.
From way downtown, bang!
Just bet $1 on Game 1 of the Finals. No need to overthink it. Lock in any Game 1 bet and cash in on a $10 bonus bet. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. New players win your first bet or try again on us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you can drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Wing Wednesday, brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, handcrafted cocktails. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need all my babies.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Tonight, the Florida Panthers can be heard on here, starting at 7:30 game coverage, facing off Game 1 against the Edmonton Oilers of the Stanley Cup Final. We got Russo and Rizzo following us 4 to 6, a special Cats preview with me live from the Panthers watch party from 6 to 7:30, leading right into the coverage as the Florida Panthers, the lone bright spot in South Florida sports right now, seek out a second straight championship in their third straight Stanley Cup Final appearance. Making an appearance right now here on Theoretically Speaking in his usual Wednesday spot. This time, not a birthday surprise. I'm well aware we have Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike pulling up, taking some time out of his very busy schedule to drop some gems on us. Evan, no pressure. No pressure at all.
Pressure's on, but guess who ain't going to crack?
Me?
Pardon me, I had to laugh at that. Oh, sorry, that was Jay-Z line.
Yes.
Just saying. Just saying.
Do you just use this time to just get off the bars, some rap bars that you've been waiting? Because I know you pull a couple of them on Unsportsmanlike, but I feel like you always got one ready.
They make me, I do like 2 or 3 every single day, and they destroy me on the show for it. In fact, I used one the other day around my house. I don't remember what it was. And my daughter, literally, she's 8, and she's turning 9 tomorrow. And she goes,
"Oh, congrats.
Stop." She goes, "Stop. Just stop." My 8-year-old.
She's checking.
All right, maybe I should retire. Maybe I should retire my rap lyrics.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate checks from within the household because that refines you. That makes you a better man. What I'll have to ask you here is because this is I said congrats on your daughter's pending birthday, and is that like an improper response? I don't know how to tell. When you dropped that on me, I guess happy birthday to her.
No, that's okay. No, that's right. I think you did it fine.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. I said congrats. I didn't want to seem like I was patronizing.
I feel like CCAT gave you a look. Did CCAT give you a look?
It's always giving me
congrats. Like another year.
That's not what I'm more so. You look, I don't have as many friends with kids like that, and I just don't know what to say. So congratulations on your success.
Happy birthday.
Raising a daughter.
Really all you need to
well, it's not your birthday. So
that's
valor.
true too.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Oh.
By the way, you just said something. One of the few South Florida sports teams having success right now with the Panthers. Obviously, they're the best when you're in 3 Stanley Cup Finals in a row, right? And they won, the last year. Are we saying all South Florida sports teams are bad right now?
Yes.
The Panthers are the best.
This is what I'll say.
College and pro?
this is what I'll say. What we're including is the Miami Hurricanes football team. We're including the Miami Marlins. We are including the Miami Heat, the Miami Dolphins, and then, of course, the Florida Panthers. So those big five right now. Inter Miami, of course, is strong. That's a different playing field.
What if you include Florida, the Gators, and the Knowles? Now, it's tricky because
that's not South Florida.
You can't include Gator basketball. Well, yeah, but the South Florida sports fan absolutely loves those two. But then we can't include Gator basketball because they're coming off of a championship. So if we say Palm Beach County South.
Yeah.
Right? And what's next 3 years, next 5 years outside of the Panthers? Who do you have the most faith in?
Well, first you have to define what success is for each of these franchises. So here are the bars that we set. For the Miami Heat, I say winning the Eastern Conference is a successful year. Do you disagree? You're a Heat fan like myself. I said a championship because that is the standard, but I still think that winning the East is successful, especially with how strong the West is right now and about to be over the next 5 years.
But I think you just unintentionally lowered the standard for the Heat, did you not?
Well, the standard for success. So you're telling me that 2020 wasn't successful? For success.
Well, I think you're bringing up an interesting point. So if we do standard for success in comparison to other South Florida sports teams, that's where it gets interesting. So here's what I would say. Heat would be the finals. Sure. I'll give you that.
Finals, yeah.
That's Marlins a winning record. Dolphins a playoff win, which I don't see anytime soon. I got to be honest with you.
We're lockstep so far. And what about the Miami Hurricanes football team?
This is the hardest one. The Canes. First of all, I'm not personally a Carson Beck fan. I was not impressed with Carson Beck at Georgia.
Neither was the Cavender twin.
Right. Well, she was. I don't think he was impressed. That was the problem.
Well, yeah.
Together, right?
I guess he got impressed by a lot of other things.
Yeah. So I think that they didn't win a title with the number one pick in the draft. They didn't really come close to a title. So
they didn't even make the championship game.
College football playoff.
Yeah, a berth. So, because if you win the ACC championship, you get a berth anyway. And then if you don't,
you still have a shot at getting a berth.
Yes, and I would agree that making the 12-team playoff would be a successful year for the Canes, and it's something they've never done. So out of the parameters we just said.
Theo, in this scenario, are you and I going to sit here in January if Clemson wins the ACC and the Canes finish in second, but the Canes get into the college football playoff and say it was a bad year? Hell no, we're not going to say that.
You know what I would do?
We're going to say throw a party.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is it, baby. We done reached the pinnacle. Drop a banner.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Pop the champagne.
You're right.
Like
you're 1,000% right.
I'll turn
you're
it off.
1,000% right. You know what's interesting? I have the least faith in the Dolphins of all these scenarios.
That sucks to hear for fans out here because the NFL is the behemoth. It's the mammoth. It's what everybody cares about the most. You're saying the Dolphins
Are we going to ignore? See, what is this NFL week right now? This has been an NBA week. Tom Thibodeau getting fired. Yeah. Finals start tomorrow night. NHL, obviously, Stanley Cup Finals in your backyard tonight, right? You're hosting it. Russo and Rizzo a part of it as well, right? So, that's the hot button stuff. What's the NFL storylines this week? NFL storylines this week is we expect Rodgers to be probably this week at some point, maybe, one way or another to the Steelers. We have all the Jordan Love controversy. Has he regressed? Has he not regressed? Yeah. Whatever, made up story. But there's another thing that's kind of out there. So Jalen Ramsey's going to get traded at some point. Jonnu Smith seems like he's going to get traded at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are ready to personally drive Tyreek Hill out of town as far as possible.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I got his Uber X booked right now. Just waiting. It's scheduled.
Tua is fine. What is that team? They're peeling off pieces left and right. What are they? Are we going to ignore the fact that hey, they're only getting worse and worse and worse? Meanwhile, I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, I believe the Heat are going to have a good summer and that they're going to improve. So the Marlins are kind of whatever. I don't even know what they are anymore.
It's not worth the discussion right now with the Marlins.
Yeah, it's not. But could the Marlins go 82-80 at some point? Yeah, probably. I couldn't name two players on the team, but you get what I'm saying. The Dolphins are the ones that people care about that I don't see the hope.
Just got swept, by the way. Game went to final.
The Marlins have officially been swept by the
Rockies?
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew they had lost 2 in a row. They got swept by the Rockies.
It just wrapped up 3-2 Rockies.
Oh, my God.
Why
do they exist?
That's miserable.
Why do they exist?
They barely do exist. They have the lowest payroll in Major League Baseball, and it seems like they're trying to cease to exist. But they're here, and they're our team in our backyard. That's what got me on this, right? Because I'm headed out, right, to cover the Panthers watch party tonight. Now, the game 1 is in Edmonton, but we'll be there with the Panthers fans as they watch the Panthers look to run it back on the Stanley Cup final ice. And I think that's the difference, right? Like, it feels great as a fan, especially for a team like the Panthers who don't have a long-standing history of success, to be on this wave with them and celebrating and cheering and excited. But for most Panthers fans, I would have to assume a lot of them are crossover Dolphins fans as well, because it's going to be mostly local area people. A lot of them are also crossover Canes fans, crossover Marlins fans, and this is really all they have. And it might be actually helping the Panthers more than hurting them, because you're not looking forward to the NFL season. You don't know what to expect. It's all contingent on the summer for the Miami Heat, and that goes lockstep with the NHL anyway, so it wouldn't really necessarily interfere when the Panthers are good and the Heat are bad. Like, this is all South Florida fans have right now. So I'm hoping the Panthers finish the job, because this is the only, like, shining, glimmering hope at all.
I think you're right. Relative to the Dolphins, I think you're wrong when it comes to the Heat. I think writing off the Heat is ridiculous. No, I understand. You're way more negative on them than I am. I feel no reason to believe that they're not going to be great again. Like, I think they're going to find a way to get better, and I think they're going to find a way to get better pretty quickly here. And I do think they're going to make moves, but at the same time, and by the way, doesn't it make you feel as a Heat fan at all reassured knowing a team that just got to the Eastern Conference Finals fired their coach?
Yes.
When they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and by the way, we could sit here and say maybe it was justified a little bit. Maybe it kind of made sense. Spo just had the worst season of his NBA career. Did anyone think that Spo is not the right guy for the job?
Not
Are
for
you
a second.
kidding me? You know what I did on the air today on Unsportsmanlike? I literally brought up the idea that, hey, as much as I don't think Tom Thibodeau should have been fired, even though I don't think he's going to win a championship, I thought he should have gotten another year. If Eric Spoelstra was the coach of the Knicks against the Pacers, the Knicks win that series.
Yes.
Because he tries different things. He comes up with different things, different strategies, whatever. Like, we as Heat fans still have the best coach in the NBA, and we as Heat fans still have that front office running the team, right? Dolphins fans can't say that. That's not what Panthers fans can say. Hey, Bill Zito running the team, like, we're good to go. This guy knows what he's doing. So I think when you're talking, and I would have faith in Cristobal with the Canes. So I think it's a lot of the belief.
Yeah.
You're smiling, you're laughing.
Well, here's the thing, Evan. Here's the thing. Miami had 7 players drafted into the league last year. Miami had the number 1 overall player at the best position, the most important position in the sport, and it was that down year for the ACC, and they couldn't even make it to the ACC title game, let alone win it. I understand all of the problems were on the defensive side of the ball, and I understand that we got rid of our defensive coordinator. I'm saying our now because I'm starting to get into my feelings. But if they couldn't get it done in those most perfect, like that was like the perfect setting for you to claim the ACC, I just don't know why I should be bullish on the near future. It's not an anti-Cristobal thing. He's still a great recruiter. He's still a great motivator. There's a lot of good things to like about him. I'm just like, well, why would I have hope? It feels like I feel as foolish as Cowboys fans now.
Well, I think it's an interesting point. And in many ways, it does actually tie into what we just saw with the Knicks. Because I was saying this to a friend of mine who's a Knicks fan. You just said about the Canes, everything lined up for him. What are you going to have the number 1 pick in the draft again at the quarterback position? Like that, Carson Beck is not. Listen, even if you love Carson Beck, he ain't that.
It ain't
okay?
happening.
Right. What are you going to have a down year like that with or Clemson, whatever, like all these different things, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the Knicks. Are you going to have the best win you've had, which is the Celtics, but then Tatum gets hurt, and then you're not facing the Cavs, you're not facing Giannis, you're not facing Spo, you're facing the Pacers, who are great and extremely well coached. There's no current Hall of Fame player on that team. I think there could be with Siakam or Halliburton, but there's no current Hall of Famer, right? That's what I was saying to a friend. was that's the difference between the Heat and the Knicks. And he said, what do you mean? I said, the Heat had this twice in the last 5 years where things broke their way and they took advantage of it both times. They didn't win it all, but they got to the finals. There were injuries. There were matchups. Jimmy went nuts in what he did. Now, in the finals against the Lakers, things didn't break their way. Bam got hurt. Gordon got hurt. They lose in 6. Who knows if those two guys are healthy? What happens? It's still LeBron, so you favor LeBron. Always, I get it. My point is, when and this is your Canes point, and it makes sense. If the opportunity is there, you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not definitely going to be there again.
Same thing for
It's
the
what Dan
Dolphins.
Marino would tell you about the Super Bowl in year 2 or whatever it was.
Right. And same thing for the Dolphins last year. You would have thought that was the year. The Patriots are down. The Jets are abysmal. The Bills had traded everything away. I understand they were still good, but they were a whole new look team. If the time to strike was last year and they did not take advantage, I don't see it happening in the near future. Also, Evan, I'm a little disappointed. You said the only 2 potential future Hall of Famers on the Pacers were Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton. Players, right. You are the preeminent trade calculator. What is it called? The trade forecaster on ESPN? Trade machine. You are the man when it comes to the trade machine. Miles Turner's got to be like a trade machine Hall of Famer. He's every trade deadline, every offseason.
Yeah. He's never actually been traded.
Yeah.
Miles Turner is the favorite non-Heat player of what ESPN West Palm teammate?
Ooh. J-Mart?
Nope. J-Mart wouldn't know Miles Turner if he fell on him.
Steph Prince, the general manager. Steph Prince.
No.
JMP?
Nope. That's right.
Really?
Jeremy Marks-Peltz, ESPN West Palm teammate, his favorite non-Heat player in the entire NBA, and this is for the better part of the last 5 or 6 years, is Miles Turner. JMP loves Miles Turner.
That's so random. I'll have to get to the bottom of that soon. Evan, you just dropped some good nuggets on us. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the morning on Unsportsmanlike. And again, good luck on that trade machine because the Heat needs some help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just very quickly. So what we learned is we both believe in the Canes-ish. I believe in the Heat more than you do. We both are cool with the Panthers. Neither of us believe in the Dolphins, and neither of us concern ourselves with the team that just got swept by the Rockets.
Yes. We can agree on that.
We're good.
We're good. We're absolutely good. Evan, thanks for your time. We'll see you on Unsportsmanlike 6 a.m.
Thank you, Theo.
That is Evan Cohen joining us on his weekly Wednesday spot, our guy, our friend, and also the man who the studio is named after, Evan Cohen. Since the studio is named after him, does he just get to pick and choose when he pulls up? C-Cat?
Yeah, it's like that in Major League Baseball, when you are in the league for a certain amount of time, the league office gives you a gold pass, which means you can take that gold pass and go to the ticket office, I think it's will call, show them that, and you get 2 tickets in the best seats available for any Major League Baseball game. So if you go to Lone Depot Park, they sit you on the field.
I was about to say.
You play third base.
You're like, he's like, actually, you're pitching relief today,
Exactly.
so just warm it up there.
So Evan Cohen kind of has the gold pass to the ESPN West Palm Evan Cohen studios.
You're right. He deserves that. When you get something named after you, you deserve access at all times. So that's our guy, Evan Cohen. And he did say something that intrigued me. He said that I'm not optimistic on the Heat. He thinks I'm down on Miami. I don't see it that way, C-Cat. The way I see it is I have a responsibility as both a sports talker in South Florida and also as a Heat fan to continue to hold them to the fire, to keep them accountable, to maintain them being accountable and responsible for what they have in front of them this offseason. The time to strike is now. We can't keep pump faking like the Heat have done over every single offseason since they acquired Jimmy Butler. And don't tell me Kyle Lowry was a big move. It obviously didn't work out. Terry Rozier, that was a stinker. That was a dud of a transaction. Set us back more than it put us forward. As a Heat fan and as a South Florida sports talker, I refuse to have blind faith that Pat Riley, Mickey Arison, Eric Spoelstra, whoever the hell else wants to get in on the decision-making here is going to pull the trigger. They're married to Bam Adebayo. They love Tyler Hero. Duncan Robinson's likely going to move in any kind of transaction that happens because of the way his contract is structured. There's so much going on with the Heat and the optionality this offseason, and there's so many stars that are available. But I'm not going to act as if it's going to happen without seeing something happen first. They've talked that talk every single summer. I want to see them walk that walk. Theoretically trivia, y'all know what time it is. It is a Wednesday. You probably were listening to Evan that whole time like, get the hell off the damn phone.
Time to win some cold, hard Duffy's moolah.
They want to win money, Evan. Make way for our fans, our good people. Brandon, I see you in the YouTube chat. Make way for them to come and make some money, specifically some Duffy's money. You know Duffy Sports Grill is raising a glass to the class of 2025. If you want to get your hands on a Duffy's gift card right now, you're going to want to call in right now. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. We're going to play Theoretically Trivia on the other side. Call in, pick between C-Cat and myself, Theo Dorsey, and we're going to play Theoretically Trivia. And if you win, if the player you pick wins, you win a $25 gift card to Duffy Sports Grill. Cade Chums is going to come in here with the topics. C-Cat and I are going to go head-to-head. It gets ugly. It gets brutal. There might be a little blood, definitely some sweat. C-Cat's usually the one crying, so there will be tears. You get to pick your fighter. It's Theoretically Trivia.
I leave myself emotionally vulnerable when we do Theoretically Trivia.
You have to be.
You get a peek deep into my soul, and you find the core of myself.
Wow.
Theoretically Trivia, and you got to call in right freaking now if you want to be lockstep with me or Theo.
If you want to get deep into C-Cat's soul, 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. He's welcoming you in. It's for Theoretically Trivia, but also I guess there's a secondary prize.
Yeah. And I won't say the joke I thought of.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I'll tell the caller my joke.
Okay,
if
tell the
contestant. It'll be between you and me.
Yeah, tell the caller your joke. 888-760-3776. C-Cat will tell you his joke. You tell him you want to pick Theo because the joke was horrendous, and we move forward. Theoretically Trivia on the other side. Everybody, prepare yourself for Cade Chums. And that's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. Thanks to Evan. Theoretically Trivia coming up on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
Major League Baseball coverage on ESPN 106.3 is proudly presented by the FIFA Club World Cup 2025, bringing you the best of the diamond and the pitch. This summer, the world's game comes to Miami. The FIFA Club World Cup 2025 is taking over Hard Rock Stadium for a global soccer showdown. The biggest clubs on the planet, the brightest stars, one champion. Don't just watch history being made, be there. Tickets are now available at FIFA.com/tickets. Get them before they're gone.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver where others can't. Visit anchin.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. The UEFA Champions League final featured PSG and Inter Milan. PSG Paris Saint-Germain dominated the game 5-0. It was the largest victory in a Champions League game in the history of the UEFA Champions League, and people all across the world were celebrating. According to Fanatics, more PSG merchandise was sold in the 12 hours after a win than the previous 3 months combined. Fans from 70 countries went to the official PSG online store to buy merchandise. Soccer truly is the world sport. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management Program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management Program.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Get ready to elevate your driving experience with the all-new 2025 Range Rover Velar P250 Dynamic SE. A stunning blend of luxury performance and technology that will make every drive unforgettable. Right now, you can lease the new Velar for just $809 per month for 36 months. Yes, only $809 a month for a luxury SUV that sets new standards on the road. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. I hope you're ready to watch me win.
What?
I hope you're ready to witness greatness once again. This is Theoretically Speaking. This is a Wednesday, June 4th Stanley Cup Final. Puck drops tonight, right around 8 o'clock. Coverage, this local coverage here on ESPN 106.3 going to roll right into the Stanley Cup Final Game 1 coverage. Edmonton Oilers hosting the Florida Panthers, so make sure you stay locked with us now and forevermore. We got your back. Seacats on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. Kate Chumslin is in the house on a Wednesday, and I think y'all know what that means. I think you're well aware of what that means. It means it's time for Theoretically Trivia. Yeah. Getting it going right off the bat. Theoretically Trivia. And what is our topic going to be today, Kate Chumslin?
It's called Theoretically Trivia for a reason, so I'm calling this one Theoretically Trivia.
Wow. Whoa. The topic is the same as the name. And we have callers ready to pick their fighter. Again, the winner of Theoretically Trivia between myself and Seacat wins the caller that picks us a $25 gift card to Duffy's. Our first caller is Heather. Heather
in West Palm Beach.
Heather's in West Palm Beach. Heather, welcome to Theoretically Speaking. You are now good people now and forevermore. Who you going with for Theoretically Trivia?
Thank you.
This was really hard, but I think I'm going to go with T-Cat.
Let's go. Okay. Thank you for calling in. And
yes,
I'm a little bit saddened, Heather, that you went with the cat. Catman, that means I have caller number 2, which is who?
You've got Larry and Boynton.
Larry is in Boynton, and Larry, you're on Team Teddy. Are you feeling good about that, Larry?
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Larry's being fake.
That's the optimism. Wait, hold on. CK, what do you mean?
During the break.
Okay, talk to me.
When Larry was fortunate enough to be randomly selected, he goes, I really want you, CK.
Oh, wow.
Larry, do you have anything to say for yourself?
No, I'm busted.
Larry, I thought we had something special. You know what? That doesn't matter. You know what? Larry's mad because last time we played, I didn't do so well. So maybe I will make it up. You got to earn it. What have you done for me lately? You got to earn it. I cannot expect Larry to just be in love with my game. I got to make him love me. Cade?
What's the format today?
I'm ready to rock.
We're just doing 5 questions straight up. You both got your buzzers.
Yep.
That's me. That's CK.
Fantastic. Let's get this thing rolling. It's called Theoretically Trivia. Theoretically, had he had just 9 more yards in the final game of the 2012 NFL season, he would hold
Saquon Barkley rushing yards. Total rushing yards.
Incorrect. Would you like me to
This
repeat
guy's
the
got
question?
no ears. Are you good?
Would you like me to repeat the question for you, C-Cat? I wasn't done.
Please.
Theoretically, had he had just 9 more yards in the final game of the 2012 NFL season, he would hold the single-season rushing record.
CJ, 2K, Chris Johnson.
Incorrect.
No!
So I was looking for the second place.
Adrian
Peterson is the right
man.
man.
I listened, I'd have known. That sucks for me. I was jumping
But
the
he
gun.
said 2012.
I didn't hear
you
that.
checked in, yeah.
I know, I didn't hear. I wasn't listening. So apparently I wasn't listening good enough.
All
I'll
right.
be back.
Hot
I'm back.
start. All right, we're 0-0 right now.
I love this theoretically trivia thing you got going. Love the theme.
Here we go. Theoretically, this NBA legend could have made a dynasty in Minnesota if they used just one of their 2.
Kevin Garnett.
Incorrect.
Okay, thank you. Finish that, please.
Theoretically, this NBA legend could have made a dynasty in Minnesota if they had used just one of their 2 top 6 picks in 2009.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Steph Curry.
It is Steph Curry.
Yeah, they drafted 2 point guards ahead of Curry.
Yes, they did.
Was it Johnny Flynn and
it was Ricky Rubio,
and Johnny Flynn?
Yeah, there you go.
I still think Ricky Rubio. The book's not closed on him. Watch out.
Book?
Listen, you're gonna. You wrote him off. He's gonna write back.
I think from the retirement home, from the Bengal Hall.
He's actually gone.
Yes, he's gone.
Okay, I don't know.
What's the next question? Theoretically trivia. I'm up 1-0. Duffy's gift card on the line, and C-Cat is begging for an 09 Ricky Rubio to have a return to fame.
Question number 3.
Steph Curry's really old, by the way. Why would you think Ricky Rubio? Okay.
Question number 3. Theoretically, Usain Bolt could have a perfect 9 gold medals in his trophy case if his medal from this event wasn't stripped away after the fact. I need the year and the event.
The 2012 2x4.
Incorrect.
2x4. That is a block of wood.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I'm gonna go 2012, and I am gonna go 4x1.
Wrong year. I'm looking for 08 4x1.
Dang it!
I was kind of close.
No, you weren't. You picked the wrong year and the wrong. You didn't even pick an event. A 2x4 is what you. That's what Heather's gonna hit you upside the head with because you're about to lose her $25 at Duffy's.
Heather,
Yeah.
we're down by 1.
C-Cat's trivia is slowly slipping into the rest of Miami sports right now.
Oh my gosh, the hope.
What's that about?
Heather's hope.
We need good vibes today.
Good vibes,
It's
good
Stanley
vibes.
Cup
I'm
final
sorry,
night.
Stanley Cup final night. I'm sorry. So theoretically trivia, we got 2 questions left. $25 gift card to Duffy's on the line. C-Cat versus me. I'm up 1-0.
Theoretically, if he could have gotten out of Seattle sooner, we may have seen this 10-time Gold Glove winner and 2-time batting title winner,
Ken Griffin Jr.
Incorrect.
Wow. Ichiro.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, what?
I really like that.
We got the baseball.
I really like that. That's what I'm talking about, dog. I know my baseball, man. I told y'all I wasn't a baseball fan, but I'm a historian. I'm a student of the game. Theoretically trivia. It's in the name.
Heather,
I'm
I'm
on
so
it like
sorry.
that.
Heather,
Let's get another question. I'm feeling myself, Kate.
So here's the thing. Ken Griffey is a 10-time Gold Glove winner, but he's not a 2-time batting title winner. That's the key to the question.
And I didn't even let you finish.
That took a lot for me to distinguish between the two. They have ridiculously similar careers.
Ken Griffey Jr., by the way, who friend of the show here, theoretically speaking.
Loves your hair.
Friend of the show, loves my hair. Kate, you were there for that.
I was.
So it's over, right? He clinched it with that?
He did, but we got one more for you. I've got two more for you. I've got a bonus for you, too. We can do this all day.
We can do this all day.
Theoretically, if this player had not scored the only touchdown in Super Bowl 52, Jared Goff may still be in L.A.
Talking about it. Talking about if a dude ain't scored a touchdown. I remember that was Patriots Rams. And I'm going to say that was who was the running back for the Pats right then? Let's just go with LeGarrette Blount.
Incorrect.
Rob Gronkowski had the biggest play in that Super Bowl offensively, but the touchdown was scored by James White.
Incorrect. It's Sony Michel. You guys were right on the right path. Sony Michel.
Sony Michel. I should have got that.
I thought it was Sweet Feet.
Sweet Feet. James White. Also another friend of the show. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Congratulations.
So I won?
Oh, yeah, you won.
Which means Larry won, which means it's a celebration time, baby. Larry is the MVP because Larry chose me. Larry, can you put him on?
Woohoo! Knew it all along.
That's what I'm talking about. Larry, all I needed was for you to hold me to the fire, keep me accountable. I'm cool with you being two-faced because what it did was it locked me in and it made me whoop C-Cat's tail even further. Thank you, Larry.
Hey, whatever needed to be done.
Larry, congratulations. $25 gift card going your way. You are the MVP.
We do still have Heather.
Heather,
I got to face the music. It would be irresponsible if I didn't bring you onto the show after failing you epically. Didn't get one question right. Heather, will you ever forgive me?
Yes, it's okay.
All right.
You guys still rock, C-Cat and Theo.
Thank you so much, Heather. That means the world to me. And now I forgive you for picking C-Cat. I forgive you for that. Heather, you're good people. Larry, we know is good people, and I'm excited to be sharing these airwaves with y'all and kicking it here on Theoretically Speaking. I would love to share, what about a little appetizer with our good people?
All right.
C-Cat, we're setting up soon, and this is going to be the debut of us just talking a little bit about it. We don't have a date. We don't have anything. We're setting up something big at Duffy's coming soon, and we're going to hope to see a lot of our fans here around football season.
I sure hope so.
Around football. No, we don't hope. It's happening.
Yeah.
Around football season, we're going to have something kicking at a Duffy, so y'all stay locked in. Y'all keep tuning in on Wednesdays here on Theoretically Speaking as we finish out the details of that and kick it. But if you want to go to a Duffy's now, like Larry's going to be able to with a $25 gift card, how about you make that happen now? Congratulations to the class of 2025. Every graduation deserves a party, and Duffy's is the place to celebrate. Reserve your spot right now at Duffy's, and then let Duffy's handle the rest of it. They got private party spaces, party platters, custom menus for groups of 12 or more. No matter the size of the party, remember, 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And 80 or more televisions at every Duffy's location. You won't miss a minute of the action on the ice or the hardwood or any other platform that you like to watch sports be played on. Plus, now through June 15th, you get a $10 MVP bonus for every $50 in gift cards that you grab. Level up your graduation party at Duffy's. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to book your party today. Duffy's, our game is always on. My game's always on Theoretical Trivia as well. Kate, I really appreciate that. That was a good time.
For sure, dog.
Yes, sir. That's my dog, Kate Chumsden, pulled up with the questions. I pulled up with the answers. And Larry's heading out with the gift card. C-Cat?
What?
What? Are you mad?
I kind of am.
What are you mad about?
Dude names the show, Theoretically Speaking, and then wins Theoretically Trivia that the topic is theories. I feel like this sucks. This sucks. I don't know.
We have been doing
it. Right now, I feel like the Washington Generals.
Wow.
That's who the Harlem Globetrotters play. Or the Party Animals, who the Savannah Bananas play. I feel like I'm only on this show for you to spike me down and entertain the masses.
C-Cat, you were the one who said 2x4 for a race in the Olympics.
You did say that.
It's not, you don't have too much to stand on right now.
Okay, I'll wear the dunce cap. I'll be the dummy. That's fine.
Would that be like two people running a 400? Or is it the item that Heather's going to use to, again, knock you upside the head for losing Theoretically Trivia? We don't know. In time, we will be able to tell. Yes, C-Cat, that was tough. But what I can say is, on the other side, we were going to get to something that is actually much more enticing. It happened to me on my walk back to the station.
Ooh.
On my walk back to the station, I was pondering a very awkward interaction that happened as I went to go pick up some food. C-Cat kind of witnessed the front part of it happened over the phone. I got coerced into something I did not want to do.
Oh, no.
Against my will.
There's more to the story?
Oh, there was a punctuation. There was a punctuation to the story. So we got to talk about that and whether or not I was in the right or wrong. This is Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start June 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
As market dynamics change, the quality and service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't. Visit anchin.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I'm not the type to be extremely, exaggerative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you take things in stride.
I keep it G. In fact, if there were no witnesses to this, I probably would have acted like it didn't. I have a very eventful life. Things happen all the time. Not to say it's like I'm super interesting. Things are always happening. I always got to keep it G and keep it. So if I didn't have witnesses for the front end of this, I would have never brought it up. But y'all's reaction as I had that phone call placing an order.
Yes, you were the odd man out in this interaction. This is just a day in the life of Theo Dorsey, but since there were impartial witnesses to what happened, it needs to be brought up.
It has to be. It has to be. So we have to do that right here with you all. Now before I dive into what was said on the phone as I was placing a pickup order, because I hate to do a show hungry. I got to fill the stomach up before I fill the good people up with some sports takes. Before we get to that, I got to tell you a little bit about EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. I actually just had one of my 2 yearly check-ins. And when EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing, EDSisyes.com, when they pull up, as I'm a Gold Plan member, it's not just about trying to fix an issue. It's about evaluating my AC unit, evaluating the system that they actually installed a little over a year ago, and assessing what might come to the pass in the future, right? You're looking for anything that might be, if I hem this up, if I clear this out, I can ensure that Theo can make it through the summer. That's what they did. They found 1 or 2 things. They were like, we can hem this up. And so they came back out the next morning as well. And everything is fine and dandy. I feel good, and the summer months are not going to penetrate my home. If you want to be safe, comfortable like me, tap in with the good people at EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDSisyes.com. You know, EDS is now offering 0% interest financing for 60 months to qualified customers. 0%.
It's big because, people listening or watching right now are like, Theo, he's a big celebrity.
Yeah.
He's got it, What if I don't maybe have it? But wait, that's awesome.
What do I have? Are they saying I got money?
Yes.
I could always use more. EDS is yes, though. And I'll tell you this with EDS, if there's a room in your home that is hotter than others, if your air or water is not flowing perfectly, EDS is yes. EDS is for you. They've been servicing Palm Beach County and the greater area since 2006. With the EDS Gold Plan, you could be just like me. 2 visits per year, making sure your AC is running at peak performance, and they are your trusted AC and plumbing expert. I want to make sure you're good. I want to make sure comfort is yours and your budget will not get in the way. Tap in with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. EDSisyes.com. CCAT, man, this, first and foremost, again, I can't do a show on an empty stomach. Ever since we got this 2 o'clock spot for Theoretically Speaking, ever since we expanded to 2 hours, 2 to 4 here, weekdays, eating schedule is a little weird. Has it not been for you?
See, I just wait till dinner. I get my iced coffee on the way into work, and then I eat dinner.
So you only eat 1 meal a day now?
Essentially, unless someone leaves a pizza in the kitchen to snack on, I let the food come to me in the middle of the day.
Okay. All right.
If fate tells me, you know what, you're going to have lunch today, I let fate do that.
That's an incredible way to live. I couldn't do it. 1 meal a day is actually insane.
The thing is, my diet's so bad that, it kind of keeps me above water. If I ate 3 meals of the style of food that I do for dinner, you might need a new producer.
Yeah. If you continue to eat 1 meal a day, though, I might still need a new producer.
I don't know. It works out.
We're going to get you to a doctor. Now I see why your girlfriend hooked you up with a doctor's appointment against your will.
Little sidebar.
Yeah, did you
quickly? So we had a big radio argument about my girlfriend scheduling me doctor's appointments, just checkups against my will. I got a phone call today. The doctor canceled on me.
Oh, that's perfect for you.
I'm not going to tell her about it.
Well, you just said it on the air.
She lost interest in us.
Yeah, if I say by the time the second hour comes around, she's like, "All right, I'm done with this. I've acted like I cared enough."
CCAT embarrassed me enough in that trivia. I cannot watch any further.
Understandable. Okay, well,
so that's my diet. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, my diet is I gotta eat. So generally speaking, honestly, I eat breakfast early, hopefully early, 4:10. I like to get a lunch in before the show. Show starts at 2. If I ate at 10, that means I'm gonna start getting hungry again right around 1. And that's why oftentimes I'll try to sneak a lunch in before 1 or a little bit after 1 like I did today. If not, I am starving through the show. And right after I get off the airwaves here, I got to run to the nearest food place to get a late lunch and then a dinner, a late dinner. So that's my eating schedule usually. Right around 1:30, I'm sitting in here in the control room with you, CCAT, And my brother who's here interning, he's right here next to us. And I'm sitting here like, okay, C-Cat, look, I would love to stick around and do more pre-show, but I got to eat. Brother got to eat. So I hopped on the phone, made a call to a walking distance restaurant around here. And let's just say I ordered a quesadilla or pizza. Doesn't matter. I ordered a lunch. And as I was ordering lunch, first things first, I don't like the inconvenience of having to give my credit card number out over the phone. Like, can't you just trust me enough to make it and then I'll come there and swipe the card in person?
Yeah, that always turns me off a little bit too. That annoys me.
That had me already kind of a little bit ticked off because now I got to pull out my wallet. And not actually mad, but it definitely decreased my happiness.
Right, yeah, you just have another responsibility.
Yeah. So now I read off all my card numbers and I'm like, okay, you got expiration date. Okay, zip code. Yeah, all of that. Sure. You got all my information. Want social too? Like, is that what we're doing? Cool. Got through the credit card information, got the order out of the way. And then I was asked a question I was not necessarily ready for. And it is a question we've grown accustomed to here in America, and it's second nature. But remember, I just got off my Europe trip. They don't do that over there. The lady on the phone asked me, would you like to leave a tip? And I'm thinking, well.
Which she's got the tablet in her hand. The tablet is asking her that question.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a pickup order, by the way. I'm not dining in. I'm not doing it online or anything. I'm calling it in just to walk over and pick it up. I'm thinking, number one, I just had to pull out my wallet, pull out my car, read off all this information, do all this work.
Do homework.
Look up the menu myself, all of this stuff. And I got to walk over and pick it up myself. It's not delivery. I was a little bit ticked off because I had to read the card numbers off. So I said no.
You said skip it.
Skip. Oh, no. So she said, would you like to leave a tip or would you like to skip? And that's the thing. So she gave me two options. So I said skip.
And the thing is, Theo was caught immediately because I'm sitting in this very quiet studio. I can't hear her on the phone. I just hear the conversation and I make some jokes about how he has a 4-digit security code. So, oh, he's got money.
Big
Yeah,
dog.
big Amex dog.
Big dog.
And then I just hear him go, skip. And I go, oh, I guess not that much money. And then
I thought that was it.
That doesn't end the phone call.
I thought that was it. I'm thinking skip, and I'm thinking she's going to say, okay, well, 10 minutes will be ready, and you can just, head on over. Immediately after I say skip, she says, it's nice to leave a tip.
Oh!
It's always nice to leave a tip.
As if you were to go, oh, I guess it is.
I didn't know. I had no clues. Nice to leave a tip.
This is Drake in that music video looking at the tab like,
with Lil Yachty. Oh. So now I'm like, well, the tip ain't the problem. Like, it's an extra $4 or $5. Sure. Like, okay, I'm not mad about that. I'm just like, number one, I'm coming to pick up my food. I thought it was nice enough to be buying food from this restaurant, right? I didn't know I had to add something on top of that. There were many restaurants in walking distance from here. I could have picked any of them. I chose you. I thought you would be happy about that. No, it's not enough. That's not enough. Also, she had the audacity, I would say. That's audacious?
Yes, that's bold.
That's
imposing.
She said, after she gave me the option to skip, she said, would you like to leave a tip or skip? I said skip. Immediately, it's nice. It would be nice to leave a tip. She said it's always nice to leave a tip. Those were her exact words. I want to quote her exactly. It's always nice to leave a tip. And then what did I say, CK?
You stuck to your guns and you said, yeah, I'm sure it is, but I'm not going to. Like, she really trapped you like a son of a gun.
There was nothing I could do.
So what'd you do?
So I said, yeah, sure. I said, so what would you want? What would you like me to tip, huh? Like 15, 18%? Pick one. And then she was like, oh, you could do 15. You could do, and I said 18%. Go ahead.
You just folded as easily as you said skip. As quickly as you said skip at her first inclination,
yes,
you were even quicker to fold and say 18.
Well, to be honest with you, there was two reasons why I did that. Number one, we're talking about $4 here. So I'm like, you're about to make my food. I am extremely hungry. I would prefer you to make my food with a bigger smile on your face, right? Like, I want to enjoy this meal. I don't want you to short me because now if I do say...
Cards are on the table.
Yeah, now if I tell her no, if I say no, skip, for real. Like, I don't care if it's nice. I don't give a damn. I'm not a nice guy. Not only does she make my food next, I have to go pick up said food, and now this is a confrontational environment.
Yeah, and if you got 3 orders at that location and you're the one who didn't tip, but the other two are the ones who did tip, they've got top priority.
Exactly. And I got 30 minutes till the show starts. It's about a 5 to 7 minute walk and a 5 to 7 minute walk back. I needed this to be done efficiently. I wanted it to be done healthily. I didn't want nobody sticking their finger in it or trying to spit it in or anything. I wanted it to be a nice, clean procedure. And also, I knew I had to interact with them. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I could just not tip and then send my brother to go pick it up so then I had to deal with the confrontation. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, but then, I mean, that's a pretty bad spot to put your brother in.
I don't give a damn.
He didn't make the decision.
I don't give a damn about that. He got some food out of it as well. I ordered food for both of us. He wasn't paying. Just sent his ass over there to do it.
If it's that bad of a spot, he can drop a cash tip when he gets there.
And honestly, she never considered that. I could have been given a cash tip when I picked it up.
That's a big problem in that restaurant. Like, having to pay for it ahead of time is such a bad idea.
I don't like pre-tips on those kind of transactions.
Because even tipping on a pickup transaction is very taboo in my household in general.
That's my rule of thumb with tipping. My rule of thumb with tipping is if I have to go pick it up, I'm all for tipping for restaurant service for servers. I'm all for tipping bartender service and for delivery drivers.
For sure. Yes.
You must tip. You better tip. It is courtesy because not only do they not get paid enough, they're also doing a service for you outside of the realms of what the setup is.
There's got to be a line somewhere. And we found the line, at least we thought.
The line is, if I'm picking up my food, I don't, it is like a super duper 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 bonus if I tip. I'm being extremely generous and nice if I tip. You should not have to tip, nor should you even be asked if you're picking up your own food to tip. And that's my rule of thumb. Maybe there's a waitress or server or waiter out there that feels differently. I'm not sure what the argument against that is. But the other thing I could do is just not go to your business, right? Yeah. Like, that's the other option.
Take your ball and go home. Like, what if we just start tipping everyone in everything? Like, oh, nice, the train came here on time. Here's $1. Like, the conductor.
Tip the parking attendant for giving you a ticket. Like, man, that was an efficient way that you delivered that ticket. It's a $51 ticket. Here's $55.
Have something nice.
Yeah.
I want to hear what everyone else has to say on the Baptist Health Hotline.
Please, tell me if I was wrong or it was the lady at the restaurant wrong. I called in to pick up my order. As I was trying to get off the phone to go pick it up, she asked me, do I want to tip or skip? She gave me the option. I said skip. And then she said, it immediately, almost like it was a call card thing that she was trained to say, it's always nice to give a tip.
Right, yeah, they do the flow chart when you're refusing a new insurance policy or whatever. Like, if they say this, you say this. If they say skip to your tip, you say this.
Was I in the wrong or was she in the wrong? Because she forced me into tipping. And it worked for her. She's happy. I'm happy too. It was a really good quesadilla / pizza / whatever. I don't want to give away the restaurant. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Was I in the wrong or was she in the wrong? And how would you have responded if the person you called to pick up your food from, the service worker, the cook, whoever it was, demanded a tip out of you? If I would have said no the second time, that would have been crazy.
Absurd.
It's like there's nothing I can do in that situation. My back was against the wall.
You are not a Girl Scout outside of Publix asking to sell the cookies.
Yeah.
You don't get to go hat in hand on the phone.
It was kind of crazy. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Give us your call. You be the judge. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatment, with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of damaging to watch as a witness, a passerby on standby.
You were embarrassed for me.
This was a tough look for the captain of this show.
Yeah.
The guy that I'm so proud of and I tell everyone about. And whenever someone talks to me from back home, what's Theo like? What's Theo like? Now I can tell them what Theo's really like.
I'm soft.
I just saw
I'm easy to squeeze
firsthand. It's like Finding out a mythical creature you thought was real when you were a child isn't actually real when you're an adult.
It really hurt too. It hurt that was public. I would have told nobody about that had you not witnessed it. Ernesto is in Boynton. Ernesto, you are on Theoretically Speaking on this Wednesday as we gear up for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Ernesto, you heard the story. Was I wrong or was she wrong for her demanding a tip out of me like that, man?
She's wrong for demanding a tip because all she did was take your order. She didn't make it. So I'm going to say off the bat, she was wrong to do that. Now, if you would have tipped the chef or the person who made it, yeah, but not the person who's punching up a damn number code and saying, yeah, you got a number 8. Oh, you want you don't want no jalapenos? I mean, I'm not tipping you for that. If you're sitting in a service, anywhere you sit down, yes, you tip. But man, you do not tip someone that's just punching keys right there in front of you. They're not even preparing it. No, sorry. But you know what that shows? Your character, Theo.
Wow.
It's your character. You're a nice guy. And what it did is made her look bad, not you. You just put a cherry on top of your personality and your character. What it did is made her look bad. And you know what? Shame on them in that place. You know, we're not going to name it.
Yeah, not going to name it.
We're going to call it, you know.
I don't know who it is.
They're not going to name it. But,
wait, hold a second. First of all, pause for a second. Ernesto, why are you acting like you know where the place is? He's acting like he has to keep.
I'm a detective, and I know your area where you're at. And there's only a few places you can walk and order up. So I'm not stupid. I know where you're at. I know the restaurants that are there. I know the restaurants that are there. I service them, so I know the ways. I know who you're talking about.
Wow.
I have a kind of an idea.
Now, we forgot a detail of this story that I did not remember until Ernie mentioned you didn't ask for no jalapenos. Theo, you asked for maybe a tippable service or like favor, and what happened?
I asked to substitute one item out. I said, can you pull this one item out of said meal? And it became a problem on the phone instantly. It was like, oh, I can't do that. I mean, that's going to be holding. And I said, okay, never mind. I'll take it as it comes.
You already took an L.
So it was a problem, and then you still tipped. Oh, my God.
Dog, I had never been approached in that way. It was so fast. It was so swift, Ernie. So you're telling me, what would you have said on the phone if that happened? And then she said, would you like to leave a tip or skip? You say skip, and she says, you know, it's always nice to leave a tip.
And I would say, and it would be nice if you made it for me, but since you didn't, I'm not going to tip you. I'll tip the person behind you. And I'll give it to the person behind them. I've done that before, so it's not something I'm saying.
I've
done that. It's happened to me that they've said, do you mind the tip? And I said, to you, yes, but to the chef back there, here's $2, chef. And I'll slap it on the table. Because they don't deserve the tip. It's the person behind that's making it. That's who deserves it.
Ernie, I really appreciate your call. That was a good call, and mostly because I'm glad you're having my back because I couldn't defend myself earlier. Thank you for the call.
Yeah.
Woo. Ernie and Boynton.
Should I, as like your producer, is one of my roles to like when registering this situation happening, should I grab the phone and protect you from yourself?
Yes, like an agent almost. Like, no, he's not having that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you one of your flaws, self-proclaimed, is saying yes a little bit too much.
Yes, a lot, yeah.
And maybe it's bleeding through into your everyday life, not just your professional life.
It's becoming habitual. You're right. I say yes to way too much. Speaking of, I just got an email about somebody asking me to host an event, and without me even reading too much details on it, I already said yes. So I have not gotten better at that.
You read the subject line.
It's a good chance if you need an event hosted and you think that I am a charismatic enough and guiding presence, and you shoot me an email on it, there's a good chance I'm going to say yes, and that's just one of my flaws. I like talking to people sometimes.
Fair enough.
I like helping. Well, C-Cat, we are getting closer and closer to the puck dropping in Edmonton. Panthers v. Oilers. More on that, and we have our get-around on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. It's the happy hour of Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Wing Wednesday, brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold flavors, ice cold beer, handcrafted cocktails. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Good people. Theo Dorsey. Travel back to prehistoric times for Dino Night at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, Saturday, June 21st at 4 p.m. Presented by Cox Science Center. Come out and get your picture taken with your favorite dinosaurs while also taking in a ball game. Plus, it's also another Kids Club Saturday with kids running the bases after the game. Stop by the ticket office to purchase your tickets or go to RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
How about that hockey, man? That's all we got. That's all South Florida has right now. That's the only team surpassing expectations, leaving fans feeling full when they leave. The Miami Hurricanes had an exciting year, but it ended with absolutely nothing. Not a college football playoff championship, not even a playoff berth. Not even an ACC title or ACC championship game appearance. Damn it, they couldn't even win the Pop-Tart Bowl. And they had the number 1 overall pick. 7 players drafted to the NFL. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? The Heat, this is your offseason. This is your summer. It's the summer of the Heat. You better cook. If not, hey, I don't know how much longer we can keep watching Bam, Tyler Hero, and Duncan Robinson. I love my Heat, but I'm just saying the East is wide open next year. Knicks fired their coach. Celtics don't have Tatum. The Heat can easily win the East next year if they go get a star. They sit on their hands. Well, they'll be unfamiliar with what it feels like to be a champion. But we're in South Florida, C-Cat.
Man.
And I know a place that is very familiar with championships.
It's our very own Kaiser Seahawks. They're all about them, both on the field and in the classroom. The number now, 26.
Wow.
26 national championships, being best in the country, including the men's tennis team capturing their first ever NAIA title a couple weeks ago. The week before that, the men's lacrosse team. They got their third straight national championship. Back to back to back. Guys are also captured its fifth Sun Conference Commissioner's Cup, going to the most successful athletic department in the conference, which matters because you know the Sun Conference, that's in this area, and they are dominating this area. When I was driving southbound on Military Trail last night, picked up some fried chicken on the way home, I saw the flagship campus of Kaiser University, and just on my commute home, I felt more like a champion.
Oh, no.
If you want to feel more like a champion, go to this website, kuseahawks.com. kuseahawks.com is graduation season. So, yeah, those that just graduated might have already decided to where they're going to school, but if you're a junior, you're starting those visits this summer, right in your backyard, that would be the best answer for you if you want to win in the classroom and win on the field.
I'm looking forward to seeing how far that number can continue to climb. I was talking to Marcus Chief Bryant, head coach of the men's basketball team, which made it to the tournament, at least the NAIA tournament. They won the Sun Conference. He was the coach of the year. And he said the expectation for them going forward is to drop a red banner at Kaiser. I saw them at a team camp, a bunch of high school teams playing there. He's looking at prospects, future Seahawks. He said, we had unrivaled success this past year, but that's the new bar, and they're going to continue to climb closer and closer because the basketball gymnasium is where all the red banners hang.
Of course.
You don't think he get jealous? You don't think he look up in the rafters like, you know what, I need to get up there with him?
Some schools have trophy cases. Kaiser has a trophy gymnasium. They can't fit it in a case. It doesn't exist. No, they had to fill the entire gym with the hardware.
Yeah. You would think that red is like one of their team colors. I'm like, no, it's blue and white. It's like light blue, dark blue, white. No. It's like a lot of red in that gym. And those are all for the national championship banners. NBA Finals tips off tomorrow night. Tomorrow night in Oklahoma City. They're calling it the Paul George Finals. No matter who wins between the Thunder and the Pacers, Paul George technically is the reason why they were able to assemble that team. And it'll be the Thunder. Don't you worry. There's no let me see what the line is right now. Oklahoma City, 9.5 point favorite. And I believe to win the series, are they still minus 700 or did that get bet down?
It's between 700 and 800.
Yeah, like
the Thunder are going to win the finals, and we just have to accept it as it comes, slowly and painfully, because they separate those games 1s, 2s, and 3s. We're going to have a slow and painful death of the NBA season, void of any drama, at least I expect. Hopefully we get some games.
I just don't see it happening. Like everything the Pacers do well, the Thunder do better. But you know what? How about a get around? A get around will clean my palate as we also think about that Stanley Cup final that's going to be getting started tonight. Let's get a get around to get motion going. The get around is our vehicle to hit all the top headlines across the nation, across the globe. It is our method of transportation. So come along and ride with us. Where are we going first?
Next stop,
New York, New York. Because we're going to the NBA League offices. Hot off the presses, and stop me if you heard this one before, the NBA is shaking up their All-Star Game format.
Wait. I thought it was perfect.
Adam Silver said the 2026 iteration will have a USA versus the world format. With the All-Star Game returning to NBC, they're trying to make a big splash.
Okay.
Are you more excited for next year's NBA All-Star Game? Is that how this should be going?
Yeah.
Or
I
is
know
this
you
going
wanted
to
a
be
reaction.
another swing and a miss?
I'm sorry. I had to think about it. I'm a genuine man. I didn't know we were going to be talking about this. I want to give it a second I just want to digest it for a second. And here are my thoughts. Number one, every time they tweak this, it feels like a good idea. Players say they love it. They're going to be excited to play in it. They tip the ball off. And because it is February and they have played basketball since October, mostly meaningless basketball, and they've been dying for a break, somehow the energy just seems to get sucked right out of the building. I don't expect this to change.
It's kind of relatable, though, right? You plan this big weekend, and then Friday hits and you're out of work and you're like, we have to drive to Miami right now?
Oh, you're right.
We have a big weekend planned. I don't want to do that. I want to lay at home.
Imagine how spoiled we are. Like, especially even when we went our trip to Europe, and every time we had to travel between cities, we're sitting here like regret. Oh, we got to get on the train to go to Florence. Oh, we got to get in our first class train tickets and sit down and load up our suitcases and load them off. And there's going to be somebody yapping and a cart might hit me in my leg.
And that's what it sounds like with LeBron James. Like, oh, I got to fight for our country in basketball. Red, white, and blue on my uniform.
Yeah.
Oh, can I please get a week off?
It's absolutely miserable. Now, here's the thing. We have ice cream? What is going on right now? Everybody's talking. There's ice cream being given out right now, C-Cat. So I'm going to want to get in on that. That is very distracting here.
I'm also with you, the audience, because I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. There's somebody dropping off ice cream for us, and people are banging on the glass so I can get some. And all I want is a better All-Star game.
What's those people's problem? You're doing a radio show. What do they want you to do? Get up and go and get ice cream?
I don't know, but there's a lady, and she just was. I think she gave out free ice cream. She just walked away. We missed it. Yeah, the All-Star game isn't going to get any better. Think about this, though. All of the last MVPs are foreign. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, people might not know this, Canadian. You know what I'm saying? Nikola Jokic is he's Serbian. Luka Doncic, Slovenian. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Greek or Nigerian, however you want to cut it. None of these dudes are Americans. We're going to get stumped out. I wonder, what team does Joel Embiid play for?
Oh, that's a good question.
You know?
Maybe flip-flops. People criticize him for playing with the U.S. and not Cameroon, right? So maybe he just jumps ship and goes to the world side.
If he wants to win, he went to Team USA so he can win the Olympics. If he wants to win the NBA All-Star game, he might want to play on Team World.
That might be like the top thing of his Wikipedia page in terms of accomplishments.
Oh, my God.
Winning in the All-Star game.
That is so disrespectful, but you're right.
Stop.
That's messed up.
We're going to go to Atlanta, Georgia.
ATL, shouty.
What's your first guess as to why we're going to Atlanta, Georgia?
Oh, because I used to run that city, man. Between the years of 2015 and 2019, when I worked in Albany, Georgia, I spent many weekends in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was known for running that place.
Well, that's incorrect.
Okay.
We're going to talk about a Tom Brady Super Bowl celebration that he shared with Snoop Dogg.
Wow. So after the game that we won in Atlanta against the Rams, Snoop was there, and I brought my son was 11 at the time to the after party, and the game ended pretty late, so it was midnight. It was in our hotel, so we had this little special spot on the stage. Well, Snoop had a pole up, and there were some girls. They were clothed, but at the same time, there was a pole, and my son he had his eyes open, and he was listening to music, and I said, Jack, cover your eyes. And he goes, Dad, I'm good. So it's 2 a.m, and I mean, we are having the time of our life, and I'm like, holy cow. If he tells his mother, I ain't gonna see this kid for a long time. But
Jack, my nephew, Jack and the Beanstalk.
I'm telling you, it was one of the best moments of my life.
So yes, that was Snoop Dogg, also on that podcast. Tom Brady's definitely lying about that, isn't he?
Yeah, the ladies were naked.
Those ladies were buck naked.
Why would they have clothes on? If it was a Super Bowl post party, Snoop is in the house, Brady's in the house. God forbid who else is in the house that they probably couldn't name because they might be caught up in some kind of trials right now. Those ladies were naked. How old was Jack at that point?
Jack was 10 years old.
Ooh. See, and he's right about that age where Tom is probably drunk off the tequila. Snoop is probably out of his mind. He's probably both. And they're probably both like, come on, it'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Tom, you always act like you were more responsible in the moment when you retell the story than you actually were in that room.
You kind of negotiate. Like, yes, I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
He was listening to this music and provocative women. See, you can crucify me for that.
And he
said that you accept that, and Giselle will be like, okay, yeah, that was wrong, but thank you for being honest about it. No, they were naked.
He said fully clothed, by the way.
Exactly.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Because you could say like just like a bra and panties for like a stripper or whatever is fully clothed. That's what I'm saying. Like there's you know what I'm saying? Like
Covered
she's not
up.
completely naked.
They complied with the FCC.
Because he said they were not naked, they were fully clothed. I think what he meant was they might have had like a top on or something, or like panties on. And I'm just saying, Tom, be more responsible.
Next stop.
We're going to Durham, North Carolina. Why do you think we're here?
Durham. Oh, because when I lived in the Piedmont Triad for about a year, I never visited, so we had to make a trip.
That's true. Yeah. Well, Coach K, he was talking.
Coach K.
He spoke reflectively about his coaching career at Duke and had this to say.
Grant is the best player to ever play at Duke.
that Leitner the most accomplished, and we've had great players. Cooper, in his freshman year, is definitely the best freshman that has ever played.
So you heard three things there. Most accomplished, Christian Leitner. Best player ever coached, Grant Hill. And now Cooper Flagg, the best freshman that's ever been to Duke.
And he had to mean it because he wasn't even the one to coach or recruit him. Like, Coach K ain't have nothing to do with that. Now, he might have recruited him a little bit as like a freshman, sophomore, but like this was all outside of the realm of Coach K. Flagg was 19, 7.5, and 4 at Duke. They made it to the Final Four. Extremely good freshman year, and he's by far the number 1 overall pick. One thing that we forget in all of this, Jason Tatum did not jump off the page like Flagg. That's why he fell to the number 3 pick in that draft. Also, Kyrie Irving didn't play most of his freshman year at Duke. He was hurt. So, I would have to argue he might be right, and that's why Nico Harrison is justified. Nico Harrison won the Luka trade. He got the greatest freshman of all time at the best basketball program in the history, or at least in the past 40 years. I'd have to save room for UCLA in the Wooden days. Good job. Another win, another feather in the cap for Nico Harrison and the Mavericks.
And that's the get-around.
Wow.
What a show today.
What a show.
And Tina just ghosted us.
Why would she ghost us?
She missed one hell of a show.
Did she hate us?
Tina? I think she's in cahoots with the lady who answered the phone and took your order, who made you tip.
Right.
I think they have a relationship, and Tina's offended with how we talked about them.
There has to be a reason, because as soon as we started talking about them, we then also realized Tina's not pulling up for the happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
She decided she wasn't going to pull up, and I wonder if the lady texted her. I wonder if she was the lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if she was the one on the phone and then somebody else subbed in to give us the food. Did I tell you I actually went to pick up the food, and the lady doubled down. As I was picking up Twitter, she was like, yeah, that was you, right? And I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, you heard what I said, right? Like, it's always nice to leave a tip. Like, my brother can confirm. Look over. He's right there next to you. She did that, right?
What, did she want another?
I don't know. I don't know. I think she kind of felt bad because she must have realized it now that we were in person. Yeah, she was like, yeah, you
got to face that person who you shook down for an extra $4.
Crazy. It's crazy work.
Go back to the podcast or go back on YouTube and watch the full story. It's earlier on in this hour because it's very funny.
Yes. Wherever you find your podcast, theoretically speaking, at ESPN West Palm on YouTube. Thank you so much for everybody that pulled up and joined the show, showed some love. Appreciate Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike as well. Russo and Rizzo is next. Panthers coverage through the night. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. The UEFA Champions League final featured PSG and Inter Milan. PSG Paris Saint-Germain dominated the game 5-0. It was the largest victory in a Champions League game in the history of the UEFA Champions League, and people all across